Hello YouTube, Big Swole 58 here, and welcome back to the channel. So, I'm in step 4 of my Smith & Wesson Revolver stock refinishing project, and I've added or applied 10 coats of polyurethane to these panels, and as you can see, they have turned out beautifully. They have turned out beautifully. Did run into one issue though. The mating panel to this one, the corner broke. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it, but evidently it had a hairline crack in it. And I saw as I started to apply about finish coat number 6, I saw a line, a visible crack open up in it, and I decided I just need to replace it or repair it. So for right now, for this one, I'm just going to set it aside, and when I find a repair or replacement for it, I'll finish it off. Anyway, but for right now, we're just going to finish these 2 panels, and like I said, as you can see, they turned out extremely nice. Just extremely nice. And the finish is so smooth and so clean, so devoid of any sort of debris, that I'm not even going to have to wet sand them. So all I'm going to do with these is I'm going to polish them just a little bit, just to even out the gloss on them. Won't be much, just slightly. And this is what I usually, this is what I like to use. This Meguiar's Scratch X 2.0 does a real good job of polishing up these clear finishes. And if you have like wet sanding marks in them from having to do a final wet sanding, this does an excellent job. So to do it, you just shake it up. Get yourself a nice, good microfiber cloth. Doesn't have to be anything, you know, exotic. You can buy these almost at any store now. And the Scratch X 2000. So I'll get started. Okay, set one aside. Stuff's easy to use. I usually just put a little small amount on the work surface, and I'll catch a corner. This stuff holds it really well. I'll just catch a corner, and I'll start on the bottom, and you just polish it in. Doesn't take a whole lot of effort. Again, I say these panels turned out extremely well. Doesn't have a whole lot of debris in them. Matter of fact, I don't see any in them, and they're actually pretty smooth. So really, I'm just kind of evening out the shine in it. Just bringing the gloss up just slightly. Not going to take a whole lot of time. If I had to wet sand them, it would probably take me maybe about 30 minutes per panel. But based with these, it won't take long at all. And just go right along this edge here. Now you want to be careful not to get too much of this down in this groove, because you're just going to have to go back and clean that out. And these are really clean. I don't want to have to create anything that any unnecessary work. And you just rub them out. No pun intended. You just rub them. Bring that polish up a little bit. It'll get out any sort of like handling marks that it may have up to this point from just moving them around, you know, that sort of thing. This polish is pretty durable, so it's not going to scratch up real easy. You know, it's about like you gotta remember, this is what they use on most hardwood floors. So this stuff is extremely tough, you know. It's not going to get nicks and scratches in it just because you handle it. But when you know, first putting it on, you tend to move around a lot, move them around a lot. You handle them a lot. You may be bumping them into things. So you may have a few little minor scratches on them. This will clear them all up. Won't take long either. This Meguiar's is extremely good stuff. And it's like, man, you know, I don't know what it's like. It's almost like yogurt with some sort of abrasives in it. I don't know. It's real smooth. You can't hardly feel it with your fingers. But it does a real good job of clearing out scratches and brightening up a clear finish. If it's got any kind of dull spots in it, it'll clear them right up. And when this is finished, you're going to be amazed at how well this looks. Like I said, it doesn't take a whole lot of work, but it is work. Just something to do when you're sitting around doing nothing, you know, like watching television, your favorite show, game or something. You just grab out your equipment and go to work. And as I stated before, most of this stuff, if you are like a homeowner or a car owner, you probably got most of this stuff already sitting around your house. So it's not like you got to go out and buy a whole lot of it. And if you do, you know, it's got multiple uses, so you can use it, you know, all sort of places, right? You know, in your house or around your home. It's not like you're just buying it just to do wooden grips. Stuff's good for polishing out the headlights on your vehicles or polishing your cars, getting scratches out of your paint. This stuff's good. Let's see. I believe that's all we need to do on this one, because like I said, the finish was pretty clear when I started with it. Didn't take a whole lot. And you're going to be amazed how this looks when I'm done. Probably took 5 minutes, maybe 4 minutes of polishing. I'm just rubbing off the Meguiar's. Just to show you this beautiful finish and how well these turn out with just a little bit of effort. Don't take much at all. There she goes. Just a beautiful, beautiful grip. And it doesn't really show up against this white background, so let's just move that for a second. Now you can get a good look at it. That is a thing of beauty. On the bottom, that is a beautiful, fine furniture quality finish. And it really doesn't take a whole lot of time. Brings out all of the nice beauty in that wood with just a little bit of effort. Like I said, this is just, like I said, it's not hard. Doesn't require a lot of time, doesn't require a lot of money, doesn't require a lot of effort. But just look at the results you get. That's beautiful. That's just simply beautiful. So, we'll move on to panel number 2. Since that went so well, I'm just going to do it on camera. I anticipate it going just as fast as the last one. Let's put a little bit of Scratch X on the table on my work surface. And I'll proceed to polish this one up. This one's just like the last one. Hardly any, not a whole lot of surface scratches, just a few little handling marks. Nothing significant. Just wipe it on and I'll go to work. Doesn't matter where you start on these. You can start back strap, bottom, it doesn't matter. It's all going to get done. Won't take long at all. Just a few minutes. Oh, and I picked up the wrong one. Let's get back to that one later. This is the one I want. This is the mate to it. Let's try that again. Okay. All right. We'll just start polishing on the bottom. Doesn't take long at all. This one only had just a few little minor handling marks on it. Nothing significant. It's not like I had to wet sand it first. If I did, it would have been a lot more dull. It would have taken twice as long, maybe 3 times as long to hand polish them, but this stuff, it does such a good job. And one of the things is, the key is, if you think you may have to wet sand them, then you want to make sure you put enough coats on there that you won't sand through the poly when you're, removing the finish, the scratches off the finish. And like I said, this one's got 10 coats, and I believe it was 10 if I count it right, if my memory serves me correctly. I'm getting to be a senior citizen now, so don't remember things as well as I used to. My daughter reminds me of it all the time. But anyway, you just polish them out a little bit and get down in this cutout area. Just kind of get your finger to conform to it. You don't have to rub too hard. You just want to get any kind of handling marks and things like that out of it. And you just want to make the finish uniform. You don't want to polish one part of the stock and not the whole stock, and then you have a spot that's much smoother and much more brilliant than the other half. You don't want to do that. Just do the whole thing. Only takes a couple of more minutes. Just be careful not to get it all in the checkering and down in the grooves. You just have to go and clean it out later, which isn't hard to do, but you don't get it in there, you don't have to get it out. That's kind of my notion. This is looking pretty good. Like I said, these are really good, nice, beautiful wood. Just a little bit of effort, you can really bring it out like Smith & Wesson probably wanted to do, but because these were production items, they just add cost to it, and probably just didn't make good practical sense. But now, since you and I are having to redo these grips, or wanting to redo them, we can take that extra 15 or 20 minutes and turn these into some beautiful items. Okay? So let's get that out of the way so you can see how this looks against this darker background. That's a good work surface, but it does tend to hide the beauty. And we don't want to do that. We want you to see what it's going to look like when you apply your effort to something and you're hoping for that great result. And then when you see it, it's just going to inspire you to do it again on some more stocks that you may have. It's like I said in the beginning, none of this stuff is rocket science. It's not hard. And it's very inexpensive to do. It's just, it doesn't take a whole lot of time when you add it all up together. It doesn't take a lot of time. It probably took me 4 times longer on doing this on camera than it would if I were trying to videotape it. And the same thing is going to be true when you do yours. It's not going to take anywhere near the amount of time. It just takes longer when you're trying to video and narrate. But I just want to show you guys who might be envious of some of the products that you see somebody else have, or some of the items, that you can do this stuff yourself. Really easy. Okay. That took about 5 minutes. Now you tell me that's not a fine furniture quality finish. And look at the bottoms. It shows all of that grain texture. It's just beautiful. All right, so that's done. Now, one of the other things that I talked about was, once you've gone out and did this finish, you want to try to protect it. And it's no different than if you had a car and you went out and you got all the scratches out of the paint, you clay barred or whatever it is that people do to try to get their cars to shine. Once you've done all that and you decided to polish it out, you want to protect that finish. And the best way to protect that finish is with a coat of wax. Well, the best way to protect this finish is with a coat of wax. Now this wood, this polyurethane is not going to be hurt by water or gun oil or cleaning solvents or anything like that. The only thing really going to probably hurt it if you dropped it in gasoline or if you exposed it to acetone. Acetone will peel it right off, so don't do that. Don't handle your gun around products with acetone. It's going to mess up your grips. And that's not what I think, that's what I know. Acetone was used to strip the old finish, so it'll strip the new finish too. But this is my old tried and true Johnson's paste wax. I mean, you can use whatever wax you want to use, but I like this Johnson's because it's good on firearms, it's good on wood, leather, holsters, shoes, anything you want to use it on. It's really good. Now it does have a strong petroleum smell, but once it's dry and rubbed off, you don't smell it at all. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up some other stuff while that's drying and hazing over, and I'm gonna wipe that off shortly. When it comes down to removing wax from a smooth surface, you need something that's going to do a really good job of removing the wax, but not going to be coarse enough to redeposit scratches on the surface. Now these microfiber cloths, they work good with a lot of things, but they don't work great with everything. What I find works best is a good quality paper towel or shop towel. All paper has some sort of wood fiber in it, and that wood fiber is real good at both removing wax and polishing. So I find that it works better than a microfiber cloth in removing this paste wax. So the new ones, they're not stiff, but they're just not as pliable as you would like them. So I just usually just take them and wad them up, open them back up, and show you how easily they'll remove that wax and do a fantastic job. And they don't scratch. It doesn't scratch. It does a great job. Now I know we're against this white work board, so you really can't see it. But give me just a couple of minutes and I'll show you what this is going to look like. Definitely have some drool factor to it. It's always good to have something that you enjoy doing. Kind of good way to spend your spare time in between working and the wife or the girlfriend, the kids. Something that you just want to do that's just yours, and that you can do without interfering with anybody, or not always having to leave home to go do it. You know, golfing and fishing and biking and all that sort of stuff is fun, but sometimes you just want to do something at home. And for those of us that like firearms, this could be it, you know. It's relaxing, it's beneficial. Definitely, for me, it's sort of therapy. And it's rewarding because you see the fruits of your labors at the end. So it's the firearms are expensive, but the work that you do to improve them, it isn't. You know, it's doesn't cost much. I mean, as I stated before, most of this stuff, you know, if you're a homeowner or you know, a vehicle owner, especially a vehicle that's not new, you probably own most of this stuff already. You just probably never thought that it could have multiple uses other than something for your car or something for your home. And just because they sell it in an automotive store doesn't mean that's the only thing you can use it on. And just because they sell something in a gun shop doesn't mean that's what you have to use on a gun. You know, there's most places that's selling this stuff. The companies that manufacture them also manufacture stuff for home products and automotive and industry and everybody else. And they're not, trust me, they're not making that many different products. They're taking the same product and putting it in different bottles, cans, or packages and calling it something different. And you think you're out buying some specialty item. And, you know, that's just deceptive advertisement to make you spend a whole lot of money on something that doesn't cost a lot. You just think it is because you may buy it from a gun store or firearms or, you know, some sort of sporting goods store. And if you just realize what you were buying, you could probably buy it for half the price at a department store. Okay, let's get this out of the way so we can see this work. Now that is a beautiful set of wooden stocks. And again, like I said, man, when you, or ma'am, whichever one applies, if you add all of the time up that it took me to do this, not on camera, it was probably 3 hours, maybe, I would say 4, 5 at the most. But the results, man, I tell you, the results were just phenomenal. I must have the wrong grip screw. Yep, I think I do. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what these looks like. Like I said, the bottoms, beautiful, furniture quality finish. Didn't take a whole lot of effort. Didn't take very much money. And it doesn't require a high level of skill. Just a little time and a little patience. So I can zoom in on these a little bit. Yeah. So, for anybody who want to do the same, just check out the videos, and it's not hard to do at all. If any of you want to take those old dinged up, beaten up, worn out Smith & Wesson or any other manufacturer stocks and turn them into something that you'll be very proud of, check out the videos. Listen, I hope you found this enjoyable and beneficial. It's been my pleasure to do it. It's been my pleasure to demonstrate it. But until the next time, this is Big Swole 58 signing out.